I sensed something was off the night she walked in late. Her hair was flawless, her perfume thick, almost as if she had reapplied it halfway through the evening. After 12 years of marriage, you learn a person's habits by heart, and I knew hers better than my own. She kissed my cheek, her lips cold, and my stomach knotted. I stayed silent, simply poured her a glass of wine and let her ramble about a so-called meeting. But beneath that silence, something inside me cracked. She believed she could outsmart me. She couldn't. We had been good once, better than good. She was my best friend, my anchor when I spent endless nights working and chasing promotions. I thought she believed in me, in us. She used to laugh at my stupid jokes, squeeze my hand under the table, and whisper always before we drifted off to sleep. But always has an expiration date. When her warmth faded and distance became routine, I discovered that love doesn't always die loudly. Sometimes it rots quietly, long before it's buried. The first warning came from her phone, a new password, a habit of laying it face down. The second was her excuses, late meetings, business trips that never appeared on her calendar. The third wasn't proof, but instinct, the kind that twists your gut and whispers the truth before facts arrive to confirm it. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives people space to invent lies. Instead, I hired a private investigator. 2 weeks later, I sat in my car with trembling hands as he slid a folder across the seat. Inside were photographs. My wife at restaurants, in a hotel lobby, kissing a man with a gold wedding ring gleaming on his finger. In those pictures, she looked alive, radiant in a way I hadn't seen in years. But it wasn't me she gave that version of herself to. His name was Daniel Mercer. Mid-40s, executive, married, 2 kids. I studied his face until it branded itself into my mind. I expected heartbreak. Instead, I felt sharp, focused, like a chain had just fallen from my neck. No shouting, no begging, no outbursts. I chose patience. I gathered everything. Receipts, text records, hacked messages from the investigator, hotel bookings under her maiden name, photos, videos. Enough evidence to shred reputations beyond repair. At home, I wore the mask of the doting husband. I cooked dinner, asked about her day, even massaged her shoulders when she complained about stress. She never realized I knew. Every counterfeit smile I gave her bought me more time to craft her downfall. And then came the delivery. 1 envelope sent to her parents, another to her boss, and a third to Daniel's wife. Each package carried the same contents. The truth, printed in color, undeniable. I didn't bother with a note. Evidence speaks louder than words. I had braced myself for tears, anger, maybe a cold wall of silence. What I didn't anticipate was a phone call from Daniel's wife. Her name was Claire. Her voice was steady, no tremble, no panic. She thanked me for exposing the truth, then said, "I've been waiting for confirmation." That unsettled me. Waiting? She asked to meet. Against my instincts, I agreed. We met at a quiet cafe. She was refined, composed, the kind of woman who wore dignity like armor. Without hesitation, she slid a folder across the table, the same way the investigator had weeks before. Inside was evidence. Daniel's infidelity stretched back years. Multiple women, a pattern of betrayal. My wife was just another entry on his long list. Her eyes hardened as she spoke. "I'm divorcing him, and I'll strip him of everything. Your wife will go down with him. Are you prepared for that?" I didn't flinch. I nodded, because I wasn't trying to save my marriage. I was dismantling it with precision. The fallout came quickly. Her parents called first, voices sharp with disappointment and shame. I could almost hear her world crumbling through the walls as she took their calls in hushed, desperate tones. Then came her job, HR of all things. The irony wasn't lost on me. She had enforced company policy for years, only to break every standard herself. She was told to resign quietly, permanently. As for Daniel, Claire gutted him. She froze accounts, filed for divorce, and served the papers at his office in front of his staff. I heard he begged, degraded himself, but it didn't matter. She had the upper hand and wielded it like a blade. My wife's lover was finished, and so was she. The night I finally spoke the truth to her was the only time I allowed myself full honesty. She sat at the table, eyes raw from angry phone calls. I placed a folder of evidence between us. She didn't open it. She didn't have to. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "You ruined me." I leaned in, calm, unshaken. "No, you ruined yourself. I just handed out the invitations to your funeral." Then came the begging, not for forgiveness, but for silence. She wanted me to contain the fire I had already set loose. But I said nothing. I simply watched her unravel, her mask gone. The word "always," whispered to me 12 years ago, was nothing but ash. The next morning, I filed for divorce. Everything was clean, documented, undeniable. The house became mine. Her income had vanished. And peace became mine too, because she had destroyed her own credibility. Months later, I crossed paths with Claire again. She looked lighter, liberated. She thanked me, not for the pain, but for the clarity. That's when I understood. Revenge isn't about burning lives to the ground. It's about exposure, about stripping away the lies until only the truth remains. Do I regret it? No. Regret belongs to those who still care. I stopped caring the moment I saw her smiling at him in those photos, the way she used to smile at me. Now, in the quiet of my home, I feel something stronger than love, sharper than vengeance. I feel control. And for the first time in 12 years, I sleep without dreams.